Hey founders, in this video today, in this class, I want to show you and walk through with you a case study. A case study in one of my earliest graduate, how he make 10,000 in one day and go on to make multiple six figures within a very short period of time. In fact, he made, I think, 100,000 within, uh, I think, 90 days, you know. So, in essence, um, there's many things that went with it, and I want to show you the exact steps that he did in order to help you take your business to the next level, and maybe also to, you know, if you're in a kind of situation right now. What kind of situation? This kind of situation, right? A situation where it's, people keep telling you your product is too expensive. They don't care about all the struggles and sufferings you have been through, and they pretty much they don't care about the amount of work you have done in order to put quality on the table, right? And that frustrates you. If that frustrates you, then you're exactly who I'm talking to, right? um, so if you always have feedbacks of you're expensive, this is for you. If you always have issues where, closing always have a price problem, where um, it was a good session, you talk like your old friends from decades ago, the same brother from another mother, the same siblings from another father, all right? And then, but at the end of the day, they reply and say it's too expensive, right? They at the closing is always a price issue, even though you did it really well. You chat and talk until very well, and you are frustrated. You have no idea why, and you don't know how to turn things around, right? Or maybe you are facing a situation where it's very difficult for you to get qualified leads. Okay, now I want to be here in the first 2 minutes of this video straight away tell you that these are not your real problem. All right, and in this video, hopefully I can reveal to you that you can find it within yourself what is the real problem that you're really facing. Okay, now, so let's get into it. Okay, so how did Jeffrey go and get into $10,000 in one day? Look at this, right? $3,000. Look at this. He said, made 5 digit today. Where I got tuition center, make 5 digit in one day, right? This was way back. So, he offers enrichment in the form of economics tuition. He's offering tuition in economics. Okay, so he said, wow, I asked, how did it happen? He said, well, 3,005 with 3 sign up equals to 10 grand, right? So I was very proud of him. And then after that, so he has about 6 figure in under 5 months. Okay, now, so look at this. In 21/6, I gave him a plan to make 200,000 that year. And he made it within under a year. I think he made it within the first 6 months, within 100 days, if I'm not wrong. Okay. So you can see that within days after you can see that in the square box, within days after I implemented his insights, I closed my biggest deal with full payment upfront. Okay. So if that's you and you want to have this kind of thing as well, then my teaching is for you. All right, because I don't just teach techniques on the surface or just superficial stuff. I teach you principles that really can move the needle. Okay, you can see here there's one of these sessions. He said, wow, this week broke down a lot of old belief and on the verge of having an additional $10,000 in the bank account. Okay, and then he manifested it. So cool, right? So there's 3 steps in total that he did it. Okay, very simple. I'm going to go through review these 3 steps, and hopefully you can also make your first $10,000 day as well. So in 3 steps, what did he do? Number one, he stopped selling to everyone. He stopped selling to every single one of them. Number two, he started selling a program, and not just a program, a transformational program. Okay. Number three, he raised his prices from 300 to 3,005, as you can see. Okay. Now, so let's go through number one in detail. Why is it so important that you don't sell to anyone? You see, if you are selling food that's meant for dogs, you wouldn't sell to cats. And if you are selling food that's meant for cats, you wouldn't sell it to humans, right? So very simply put, it depends on, if let's say, right, you are whatever you're selling, there's always going to be a pocket of market, of audience and people that will forever pay more than anyone else. You get it? Okay. Whatever you do is amazing. Whatever you do is great. Everything you do is fantastic. It's remarkable. It's out of this world. But there will forever be one group of audience in your life that the best Iberico pork or the best Wagyu beef will still get despised by them and still be disgusted by them. You know which is that? Right, that's the vegans. The vegans will never appreciate you. The vegans will never praise you, and the vegans will never pay you for your product's true worth. Even if you pour your heart and soul, don't sleep, and you serve them like kings and queens, they will not pay you a single cent because they are vegans. Is this making sense? Right? So that's your step one. In your business right now, in whatever you're doing right now, right? Are you trying to sell the best quality meat to a vegan? Because if you are and you're not getting paid your true worth, then that's why, right? So the first thing that I did with Jeffrey and I told him to turn around is to stop selling to everyone. And fundamentally, after we worked the process, right? The process took a while, but eventually he found it. Eventually, the process worked. Because at the end of the day, there will always be a pocket of market that appreciate him more than anyone else. Because you see, the children and the parents from the prestigious schools, right? In Singapore, in the JC level, some of the schools are like Raffles Junior College, right? More prestigious. The name itself is a Harvard kind of feeling, okay? And you know what? Children and parents in that school as versus any neighborhood school, right? If you're from the US, then this would be like the theory of if you're from Harvard versus you're from some, state schools or neighborhood schools, right? Now, here's the thing. Between the two different schools, right? One school, they have more to lose if the children fail. And the children themselves have more to lose if they fail. So they cannot afford to lose. Are you hearing this? They cannot afford to lose. Therefore, right, what happened is that the children are more dedicated, more disciplined, and more committed in order for them to make sure that they can enter their dream life. On the other hand, there are other schools with parents and children, both are okay if they fail. Saying things like, you know what, it's okay if you fail, doesn't matter anyway, go and get a good husband, get married anyway, right? Then even if you fail, it's okay, get a job and be done with it, right? They don't really care if they pass or fail. So the parents themselves don't care if the children pass or fail. And when that happens, then the children themselves don't really have motivation in order to pass. Wouldn't you agree? Even if they have great success with their exams, they don't receive praises from their parents, right? Or worse, if their parents are out drinking and doing vice activities, okay, and the children will just follow along. So they themselves don't even want to come for this kind of tuition in the first place. Whereas children in prestigious schools, okay, if they fail just one subject, they might not enter the dream school that they are after. They might fall back one more year than their peers. And you know what? When that happens, it's a very humiliating and very shameful situation. Wouldn't you agree? So they cannot afford to even fall back by 3 months, not to say by 1 year. So this is the pocket of market that will pay a premium just to avoid failing, just to avoid all those humiliation and shame. Make sense? So which pocket in your market actually is something like that? Okay. There's an example. Let me find if I can see that example for you. Okay, I don't have it here, but I have a photographer as a graduate. All right. And I'll talk to you about that case study in another video as well. But he was facing the same issue, right? Clients giving him problems and things like that. I said, you're serving the wrong market. He don't get it. He's like, I asked him, who can use your service? He said, everybody. No, right? Because what happened was that, who cannot afford to have a bad photograph? People who needs it for wedding, right? It's the one big event of their year. They cannot afford to have bad photograph. They will be willing to pay a premium just to have the best moment in their life captured forever, contained for eternity. That's what they want. They don't mind extra premium because it's one time in their life. Make sense? At the same time, the pocket of market, right? So at the end of the day, you have to choose your market really well, because I found that this is the one thing that can change everything for you, right? Now, let's go to step number two. Step number two is that he started stop selling as a, like an ad hoc retainer kind of thing. He started a transformational program. So what is a transformational program? It means that you take on only certain very specific group of, you see, the first step, you sell to prestigious schools, right? So you get that pocket clear. But within that pockets, there are still people that's not really that qualified, not really that ideal. Meaning, that even if you pour your heart and soul, it is not a transformation. It is just merely a transaction for them, right? For example, if you are selling people who are already a B student to an A student only have a few marks difference. They just need, like, it's like if you're driving a car, it's just like maintaining that car. Just pay a couple of $100, maintain that car, and be done with it. But no, the answer is in a transformational program, right? The B student will not pay $3,500 to get to A because it's only a few marks difference. Instead, the transformational students would be people who are not at even C level or even D level. In fact, worse off, they are already an F, or they are very, very close to an F. They are E or D, and they are very close to an F, which is a failing grade in Singapore. So if you take someone from failing grade all the way to B or even A itself, then you know what happens from there? What happens from there is people, the parents, or the students themselves, this is the kind of transformation that they're willing to pay a premium for. Fair enough? So the pocket of market in the prestigious school who is already getting a B will very unlikely and less interested to get a $3,000 transformation program just to get one grade higher, a few marks difference. Whereas someone who is already very close to failure and already failing would be very, very, very suitable, ideal candidate. And again, remember the reason why we sell to number one in the first place, okay, is because they cannot afford to fail and they're already failing. Make sense? So you're extending an olive branch. So even though he raised his price, and that's how he raised his price from 300 to 3,500, because he's doing nothing. There's no difference in what he do. You know what I'm trying to say? The same material, the same commitment, the same discipline, the same dedication. There is no difference in what he do every single month, every single session, and every single week. Okay. In fact, after he raised his prices, he has a lot more freedom, right? Because now you're serving one client. You can be very dedicated, very disciplined, and very, very committed in order to serve that one client, right? And what happened is that because of that, you don't have to serve 11, 12 other clients. So it reduces a lot of, it increases a lot of freedom for him. Fair enough? So that's how you do it. Okay, I hope that in this video you find something valuable. I hope that in this video you found some aha moment. You make some tectonic shifts, and you want to, if you also want to, if you're also facing that same problem that I told you about, right? This is the three problems that I told you about. That you're either one of these three pockets. One, you're already selling a premium product. You're already selling something that's expensive and quality, and you keep receiving the comments of it's too expensive, and you're frustrated, you hate it, and you want to make a change, but you don't know where to start and you don't know what to do. Okay? Or You are you are facing an issue where you are um you want to raise your price, but you don't know where to start, and you're fearful and worried of customers leaving you if you raise the price. All right, so you want to raise your price and you still want to keep your customers. That's the second group of you. The third group of you is that right now you have not raised your price yet. You have not sold a quality or expensive or luxury level kind of products, but you want to maybe start to learn. You want to, maybe you're still selling something at a lower price point and you want to start to learn the principles of luxury and premium. Okay, if that's you, then right, I want to introduce you and invite you to come into my circle where I teach you how do you sell to the three brains. Okay, there's the thinking brain, there's the emotional brain, and there's the body brain. Okay, and what happened is that when you actually don't learn to sell and speak to these three brains, chances are you keep receiving feedbacks and opinions like, it's too expensive. You know, Jason, is not the right time right now. I can get it cheaper elsewhere. I need to think about it. You know, and worse off, they say, okay, I need to get back to you, but they never really do, right? You know, it's frustrating that they keep telling you they can get it cheaper elsewhere and they need to think about it, they will get back to you, but they never do. All right, so I teach you how to overcome all of this. When you learn how to speak to the three brains, you learn to overcome all of this, and especially this. Okay, I need to ask my spouse. That's the ultimatum where you cannot you whatever you say is wrong. Right? So once you learn how to speak to the three brains, you learn specifically how to address all of this and how do you tackle them when this kind of objections show up. It's not that it won't show up ever again, but you have the skills to make all of this irrelevant, so much so that it comes up so rare you don't even remember this happens in the first place. Okay, now you can do two things after this video. One, you go and figure out on your own, okay? And take the next 10 days, 100 days, or even 1,000 days in the next 3 to 5 years to try and still figure out on your own. Or you can join my graduates and you can come in and join me to leverage and take advantage of what I've already figured out in the last 20 years of my career, okay? And also immediately, instantly monetize your income immediately. Make some shifts, and just like Jeffrey, making 10,000 in a day instantly. Right? Once you understand a few shifts, your life in the next 700 hours can be very, very different. In the next 100 hours, you might even monetize your first 1,000 or even 10,000, depending on what you sell, depending on your market, depending on how fast we can find your pockets of things. Right? So, has this been proven and who has got results? Let's look at some of the results if this is your first time. Okay. Now, if this is if you're already someone who has been a follower, thank you. And if you have been a follower but have not come into the circle yet and you want to, then take action on this class. And I would love to, have you inside the circle, all right, to see what kind of quality product you introduce to the world. Okay. Now, this is not for you if you're selling inferior product and you have no dedication to quality. Okay, my circle is all about quality. You have a passion, you have a dedication to deliver quality to the world. You just have a problem communicating that quality. You just have a problem reaching out to the right people who will value you and appreciate you and pay you for your true worth. All right. So if that's you, I would love to work with you. All right. Good. Now, let's look at what kind of results we got. Okay. Number one, right, like look at this. Okay. So Stanley have 45 signed up within a day itself. Jia Hao have $2,000 coming into his life. Another one, right? Chong have $21,000 for the month of November. Another one closed for 20,000. This is one result that I'm so proud of this little boy. He's young, and look at this. At 9 p.m., he asked if I'm free for a short call. At 9 p.m., I replied him. At 9:35, he texted me back and said he closed the deal for $20,000. within 30 minutes. It's just 30 minutes. And he made an extra $20,000. So I asked him, my man, he said, my freaking first deal. I said, did any of the teaching I gave you help? Then after that, truly helped me build my confidence and gave me clarity on how to control and navigate the conversation. So my question to you right now is this: if you're watching this, okay, listen to me very clearly. How much is your confidence worth for you to procrastinate? How much is your confidence and clarity? How much can the market pay you for you to give up on the confidence and clarity? And how much is it worth for you not to take action right now? And how much is it worth for you to procrastinate further? Chances are this is not going to be your first video watching this kind of thing. You have been looking for solutions, you've been looking for information, you've been looking for way out, and you found this. I don't believe it's by coincidence. I don't believe it's by chance. I believe this is an opportunity and this is an invite that you finally found this. So if you finally found this, then what would it take for you to continue to procrastinate? What would it take to give up on your dreams? Who paid you so much that you give up on quality? Who paid you so much for you to ignore yourself for your confidence and clarity? Right? If those sounds like something that you are passionate about, I want to invite you to come in. I want you to take action right now. Get back your confidence, get back your clarity, claim back what belongs to you. See, when you break down your old belief, look at that. When you break down your old belief, okay, you could be on the next person that's on the verge of having an additional $10,000 in your bank account. And if you have the skills to produce $10,000, can you have the skills to produce the same $10,000 10 times to make you an extra $100,000? Look at this, something I never thought about. What other things you have never thought about that's possible that made you found this video that helped you attended this class? Thank the person who gave you those problems. Be grateful of them for those trouble they gave you and forgive them because you finally found this. And thank them because you potentially could have found the one thing you've been looking for in order to turn everything around. Okay? Because I've done this for over almost 20 years now, 17 years in the making. And when you put the right principles to work, okay, it creates tectonic shift. It creates phenomenal adjustments. That's why you see results like this by my graduates over and over again. Repeat like clockwork. Okay, it's like once you learn how to drive, you never really forget it. You just use different methods and different techniques on the same car, but once you learn how to drive, once you understand the fundamental law and the principles of driving, of swimming, of cycling, you never really forget it because you get it. Once you get it, right? So all the time you're spending is to spend time to get it. That's it. Okay. Now, this is then after see this, managed to reconnect with another long lost client. Preparing quotation now and potentially 11,000 on the job. This is by Sean. And I asked, is this on top of the 20,000 sales you already closed? He said, yep, this is the fourth one. Look at this, fourth. Since he attended the program, fourth. He said he didn't get the third quote job, but that's fine. He made an extra $20,000 already. And if he closed the fourth one, which he did, that would it's a total of $31,000. Isn't that amazing? What if this was you? Would that help you as well? What if for all your life you have been seeking for that one truth and then you finally found it? But if you don't take action on it, how is your life going to change? Right? Have you ever realized that inflation is at all-time high right now? Every dollar in your bank becomes 70 cents before you know it. But you know what? $1 in your head turns into $2 with your hands and produce $10 in your life. Because the one thing that can keep compounding over and over again that inflation cannot take away is your knowledge, your wisdom, and your skills. Those are the things that will keep compounding your wealth over and over and over again. And look, I don't know how old are you when you're watching this, but if you're already in your 50s and you still have not figured out this, if you still are confused about your sales career, your business, your brand, right? Then chances are, if you have not figured out for the last 50 years, and you are on videos like that and you're on classes like that, still confused, maybe you're even divorced, maybe you're already not seeing your kids on a regular basis, and you're still confused. You don't have clarity and you're losing your confidence. Maybe it's because of a business failure. Maybe it's because of an investment failure. Maybe it's even because you have done nothing wrong, but life just took over, but COVID just happened. Maybe something happened that you have done nothing wrong at all, but for some reason you just got swept by the wave that came. You know how people in Indonesia during the tsunami has done nothing wrong, but they just got swept by the wave? You know how people in Japan done nothing wrong and the volcano just erupted, swallowing them alive for them having done nothing wrong? In fact, you know what? Possibly, maybe, they could have done something right. They could have done something better. And that's to move away from their current place. But what if nobody put them out? Because nobody warned them and nobody sounded alarm on the risk of staying comfortable. And nobody sounded alarm of actually a potential risk coming. Right? So, if you're already in your 50s and you're still confused, could you really afford to stay confused for the next 10 years? Because I don't know about you, but I don't think you still want to stay so confused and doing what you do by the time you're 60 or 70. You're already in your 50s. By the 60s, I believe that you would be someone who wants to spend time doing charity, maybe, travel around the world, maybe, but definitely not be stuck in another job. Wouldn't you agree? You want to live out your passion, live out your mission, find your passion, live up to your purpose, right? Giving back, maybe, I don't know. So if you're already in your 50s and 60s, chances are you don't have that much time to lose already, okay? This could be the one thing that turns everything around that you have been searching for your entire life, right? Today was the yesterday that you worried about tomorrow. And today was the day that you found this as a gift and present. Life is trying to reward you, but you got to take the opportunity. You got to move forward, right? Now, for those of you who are not in your 50s yet, by the time you are 50, are you sure you still want to be like those people in their 50s, confused, stuck, and not sure what is their clarity and purpose in life? I'm sure you don't want it as well. If you're still in your 30s and you're watching this, right, then I would say congratulations. If you're still in your 20s and 30s, in fact below 40s, and you're watching this, right, you found this, I want to say congratulations. You know why? Because you found it at such an age. When I was your age, I couldn't find this at all. And even if I found it, I didn't have the resources or the financials to be able to take advantage of it. But if you do, then let me tell you this: $1 in your pocket is going to be burned away by inflation. Before you know it, it's going to be worth only 70 cents. All right. Then after which, okay, if let's say you put it into your head, that one thing is going to compound. $1 in your head is going to turn into 2 in your hand, and it's going to be turning into 10 in your life. Mark my words. The knowledge in your head is one thing that they cannot take away from you. Whether is it war, whether is it calamity, whatever it is, right? No one can take away what's inside of your head unless you allow them to. All right. So, let's end off this video by finishing this two testimonial. On the right is actually the same result, right? On the left is a laundry business. For those of you who are in very boring, you think there's a very boring traditional business and you're wondering, can this help you as well? Okay, look at this. 12 outlets, about 3,000 to 4,000. I asked if it's a per outlet or total. Okay, they say total, and their outlets is average, about 500 per month. So I said this, look, that means this is contract value is between $40,000 to $50,000 per year. Is this correct? He said yes. And let me tell you this until now, he's still receiving paid. His total for this contract alone, this one client alone, he made an extra $300,000. Because since then, it's still getting paid. $50,000, he's still getting paid per year. And in fact, his volume only increased, so he's making more. But on a 5-year basis, he's making an extra $300,000. Now, wouldn't it be nice, beautiful, and transformational if your life from now and in the next 5 years made an extra $300,000 just by one customer and one client? What if you have more than one? What if he had more than one? If one client paid him $300,000 over a 5-year period, what if he had 10 in 5 years? That would be $3 million per year. Okay, if that sounds like you and you want to take advantage of the program, go ahead, and I think there's going to be a link that comes with this video. Now, if you don't know who I am, then you can always find out more about me and what I do over the last 10 years now, 17 years now. I've taught this to over 9,000 of live participants like yourself, mostly in Asia in my live events. So if you have never seen me online before, it's the first time. That's because most of the time in the last decade, I've always served my audience in the live events. And this might be the first time you're seeing all of this online. All right. So if you're interested in joining the and creating titanic results like this, then I'll be happy to have you. And but this is not for everyone. All right. I want to be very clear. This is not for everyone. I'll be happy to have you, but this is not for everyone. Okay. This is not for you if you are not committed to quality, if you have zero dedication to your passion and of work and the quality of work you're doing. If you just want to import a $1 item and sell it for $2, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that kind of thing. All right. If you're just trying to they call it LFM, right? The radio station, 躺平赚钱, lay down, do nothing, earn money. I'm sorry, I don't believe in that shit. I don't believe in doing nothing and getting paid forever. All right. I believe in putting in the hard work. I believe in producing. I believe in value creation. I believe in dedication. I believe in creation. Right. Can you actually make such a big fortune that you live off dividend? Yes. If you have $1 billion in the bank producing enough dividend for you to live it off, yes. But to get to that billion in the first place takes a lot of production and creation. Okay. So if you're someone who's trying to be useless, and you want to utilize off the backs of everyone else, and you want to do nothing, deliver no value, helping zero people, but you want to get rich, I'm sorry, I can't help you. If you want to sell an inferior product and you want to take something that is very lousy, don't improve people's life, don't deliver quality to people's life, don't help the industry, don't help the world, don't help people improve their aspects of life, but you want to charge 100 times for it, and you have zero dedication to customer service, you have zero passion about the work you do, then I'm sorry, this is not for you. All right. So that being said, if you're none of those above and you believe in quality, you believe in premium, and you're already selling expensive but you're facing issue, then I'll show you how to find the pockets of windows of audience to actually pay you for your true worth, pay you for your real value, and for you to finally be heard, be seen, and be understood for the first time in your life, and have people to thank you after they pay you a premium for what you do. This is Jason here, and talk to you soon. Take action, and I'll see you inside. Okay, bye.